What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. I'm Ed Croucher, this is Ed Croucher Official YouTube, and we haven't really got much lined up for today, but I have had an incident happen with my car that I thought you guys might want to know about. As you can tell, it is freezing today. It's just about -1 degree and it is snowing. So snowing in England doesn't happen that often, and usually it's just incredibly wet over here this time of year, but we have actually got some slight snow and it's dry, so if it gets any worse it might settle, and apparently we're heading for some really cold weather over the next few days, so that traction control will probably remain firmly on just for the you know, can maintain the value of my vehicle. But something I wanted to show you that I'm not very happy about, if I open the bonnet here, a bit one-handed because I'm a gym bro, we have the engine cover here. So as you can see, with the 4-cylinder engine that comes in the Audi TT, this has like a plastic engine cover that has actually fully come off my car. Now I bet you guys are wondering, you know, how has that happened? It's obviously held on with suction cups on the bottom of it by the looks of it, so I'm not entirely sure what's happened, but obviously from driving aggressively or something of that ilk, or probably more likely design flaw on Audi's part, as it's a really tinny plastic sort of thing. The top half of it at the top has actually snapped. That actual top bit there has snapped off of the actual cover, and because of that, two of the suction cups were actually, one of the suction cups was disconnected and the other shook loose because of the fact that one of them was disconnected, and it just sort of all fell apart really. So we've glued it back together, and 3 out of the 4 suction mounts are still functional, so we've sort of just placed it back on in the meantime and are hoping that if it, while it slips in place, it won't fall off again. But that's a massive shame. I'm going to have to highlight that with Audi, and it has really annoyed me because, you know, it looks hideous, and now my car isn't as in good condition as it was a few weeks back, and I don't know what's caused it, because that is obviously a design flaw. It's not a consumable part, so I'm not going to be paying for that. But it's certainly a shame to see that the I'm going to have to replace the engine cover on the TT already. But I'm absolutely freezing to death, so let's hop in the car, let's go and get some coffee, get some breakfast. Right guys, we've got a change of events. This is
Charlie. That's
Charlie. This is Charlie. So they've just moved in a couple of doors down, and they've got a van stuck outside on just like on my close. So we've been trying to move it, but it is actually like stuck in the mud. So I've tried pushing it, and we've actually like cracked the back lights pushing it too hard. And I think if I push any harder, I might put my hand through the fiberglass. So the plan is to drive down to B&Q quick, grab a rope, and see if pulling the van is any easier than trying to rock it and push it, because it's also on a slope, so trying to push it's quite difficult. Like, it's not exactly the easiest thing to do in the world.
We made progress, but
and I still want to get in the car where the heating was on, because I think my hands are going to fall off.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, that's a little bit more exciting than the fact that the engine cover came off the TT. So that is now the course of events. I'm going to call Beth in a second, tell her I'm going to be half an hour to an hour late for lunch, and see if she moans at me. That'd be quite funny.
Alright.
Oh. This hasn't been very successful so far, unfortunately. We went all the way to B&Q, but fortunately some guys with a tow truck showed up, so this might be better than anticipated. But it turns out all my efforts going to the gym every day haven't helped shift the van, so it's still stuck, and as you can see, the ground it's on is incredibly soft, and there isn't a lot of hope of pushing it out. So fortunately, we've got a tow truck now. So actually it's been a pretty good morning on the hashtag content front, because of the not only my engine cover coming off, but in addition to that, the Muppets trying to move that oh, I'm out of focus, bruh. What focus is set to? We're looking at the C63S, yeah. Not only has we had a load of Muppets with the content this morning, with the whole van escapade, but here in the car park by Costa, there's a C63S V8 bi-turbo. I haven't had a chance to see these yet. I believe these are a 4-litre V8 as opposed to the standard C63 6.3-litre V8. So they sound a little bit more tame, but by God are these things performance kings. Rear-wheel drive, bi-turbo V8. Let's get some glamour shots, because I believe this colour is called Magno. It's sick. It looks absolutely awesome. It's sort of a matte grey finish with a few carbon fibre accents, massive wheels, massive brake calipers, and it's just gorgeous. So Beth, with regards to modifications on the TT, what would you be buying? What would you do to modify the TT if you had as much money as you possibly could have?
Buy a different car.
I'd love to have new rims. I want it lowered. I want a dirty wing stuck on the back, the carbon fibre. I like all the chrome accents done in black. And I'd actually quite like to do like a black and white aesthetic. No, a like blue and white aesthetic where you have like electric blue on the rims. Electric blue, maybe like electric blue Tron lines or something really cool. But again, I haven't got 10 grand to burn, you know, on modifications on the car. Else it'd look really sick. And I think, as Beth said, buy a different car. How's your coffee? It's nearly 5 PM and it is still -1 outside. It's been sort of snowing, but none of it's settled. Starbucks have released 3 new tea lattes, which I really want to try out. Not a paid product placement, unfortunately, but I do want to try them out. So I'm going to go to the gym and then going to pick Beth up from the gym, head to Starbucks and then try them out. Astute of you may have noticed that back there, I still have the Overboost Network branding on my car, so that needs to be taken off. And it's now snowing again. Don't know if you can see that, it's a bit bright out there. But yeah, it is hideous weather in England, and we need to warm this bad boy up. Literally the sickest gym session of my life. Did like 20 sit-ups and 10 minutes of high intensity cardio. And when I say high intensity, I mean moderate intensity. My idea of high intensity, so beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But are we ready for the tunnel run? That was awful. When I was showing the car off to the guy who was moving his, well, not moving his, but moving that van that was stuck, I was like, oh yeah, it actually crackles quite well if you rev it to redline. And I was like, bitch, you better crackle when I rev you this time. This is the really loud one. And I was like, boy. But yeah, so
It was a fluke, man.
Obviously, probably like one in 3 you get a really loud one, but you got to be lucky, and I was very lucky yesterday with the timing. But this afternoon I've actually spent a bit of time researching what I could do about having merchandise. So with regards to that, I've sort of designed a few logos I think would be quite cool, maybe a few that might be limited edition runs, depending on how well this does. Now, looking at my clothing, I think I'd probably like to have, ideally, my own website set up, so it actually looks a bit more professional, doesn't look like I'm just trying to con you out 20 quid for a random bit of clothing. But stay up to date, watch this space, because it is going to be coming very soon. How excited are you about getting your the new latte teas at Starbucks?
I can't wait!
Jesus. So what's going to happen now is going to get there, show them the email and say, yeah, we want the latte teas from the secret menu, yeah. They'll take us round back, they'll be all dodgy like. They'll be like, yeah, actually we ain't got any, sorry mate. And then I'm going to cry, because we're literally driving all the way into Southampton in rush hour to try these latte teas out, which I think is probably one of the stupidest things I've done. Beth's also got a smashed iPhone 6 we need to get repaired, but knowing Beth, she's just going to smash it the second we get it repaired, and I reckon Apple will probably say it will cost you more to fix it than just buy an iPhone X. Just buy an iPhone X, just buy a new one. Which is not happening, because she's irresponsible. The one we were most excited for, which was the green one, which was called the matcha tea latte, we think is the worst. The apple one is delicious, and the apple, we can't even pronounce it, R-O-O-B-O-I-S, Rebuff. Anyway, the apple one's delicious, and actually I quite like the standard one, because the standard one is, just tastes like tea, but sort of like a bit creamier. Yeah, creamy tea. Not too bad. Definitely an interesting concoction. How red my nose is where it's so cold outside. So guys, we're going to get some dinner. That is the end of the vlog. I hope you've enjoyed. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen to the engine cover on the Audi TT, primarily because it doesn't really bother me. It's an aesthetic imperfection. that I think will cost very little to fix, and to be honest I think as it's an imperfection, Audi should really fix it themselves because it's not a consumable part and was clearly down to design flaw, because I haven't actually touched the engine cover and I have no idea why it's actually, the mounts on it have actually broken, so I'll worry about that when I hand the car back. But in the meantime, stay subscribed, we've got a lot of cool stuff coming up, as well as all the links to my social media which are in the description below. Click on those, follow me on Instagram because that's pretty lit, and I'll see you guys very soon with more awesome content. And if you did like, remember to leave a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.